Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Today is the 20th of April, and you know what that means? 420, motherfuckers! This is gonna be a very interesting commentary. Have you guys ever heard of this one little game called LSD Dream Simulator? No? Well, you're about to find out. It's probably one of the trippiest games you'll ever see, not even just play, but see in your own life. And I'm gonna try and put the volume of the game itself low so you guys are not too disturbed by the noises, because this game has it all. It has disturbing noises, it has disturbing music, it has loud footsteps. It really is just kind of like a mind fuck, and that's the only reason why I'm really doing this commentary, just for the joke in itself. I was originally considering putting this one as the April Fool's commentary, but then I saw Waluigi's Taco Stand and I was like, that one is more funny, so I decided to go with that one instead. For LSD, I decided to hold it off for a later time, and I decided that might as well be now, because I'm gonna be real with you guys. This is just a showcase. There is a way to quote unquote beat the game, but the thing is that this game is really long if you actually want to beat it. This is one of those games that I think is just better to try out whenever you feel like, and then just move on and do something else. Because here's how the game is structured. You each there's like, it's structured in days, as you can see right there. Day 1. And it does go by all of the days of the year, so 365 days. So if you want to beat this game, you'd have to go through all of the 365 days. Each day normally takes about 10-15 minutes, but if you find a hole to fall into, you can end it prematurely. Although, from what I understand, if you happen to find like this gray man and touch him, or he sees you, your progress like resets. So yeah, if you actually want to beat the game, you don't want to find that dude, or even come close to it. Like, if you see someone, like, run the fuck away. This is a game that's played in the first person perspective, as you guys are seeing right now, and all you can do is really run, look up, look down, look to the sides, and whatever you touch, like a wall, a fence, a statue, a person, whatever, you teleport to something else. And just like the drug, you getting into pretty trippy fucking trippy environments. It's like, thank God I don't do drugs. Holy shit. I mean, I just don't recommend anybody doing drugs, but from what I understand, this game was based off of a diary by the same name, which chronicles a person's experience with the titular drug. And then that got converted to a video game. And I think the reason why this is a video game is, like, during the PlayStation 1 era, I think the director of this game wanted to use the PlayStation less as something for video games, more as something for art. And this is what we got. Which is, I mean, this is definitely a form of art, that's for sure. I mean, whether it is or not, I mean, I think it is, absolutely. But it's very abstract, it's very mindfuckery, like I've said before. And yeah, it does its job. And I do know that the main gimmick of this game is that as you go along, as the more you progress, the more days you pass, the more the textures themselves will become fucked up, and you'll see like the most bizarre shit. If you think it's bizarre right now, wait until you get, like, I don't know, day 100 or something. But that's the thing. I've never gotten to day 100. Fuck it. I mean, I think the last time I played this game before I did this commentary, I think I got to just the first 10 games. 10 games, the 10 days. And that's because the game just gets stale, because all you're really doing is just going around and just experiencing stuff, not really doing anything else. Like, there isn't much of a game here. It's more of a trippy simulator, which, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, the name of the game is LSD Dream Simulator, so it is supposed to be a simulator in the bizarreness that you find with the drug and the dreams you get from that drug. But, like, yeah, I mean, after a while, if you want like a pure game in the traditional sense, you're not gonna find it here. So yeah. Also, originally for this commentary, because as I've talked about in previous commentaries, my PlayStation 3 went into repairs, and unfortunately, that PlayStation 3 is dead. I can't really access it. Supposedly, like, I'm not sure how to say this in English, but the motherboard got like a short circuit, so that's dead, unfortunately. And because of that, I can't access my PS3, and all of the save data that I had on it is pretty much gone now. But thankfully, I got a new one, and unfortunately, my save data had already been wiped out of my previous PS3 in 2022, so I'm not really losing it much. Well, I beat some Sonic games. I can beat those again whenever I feel like, and I'm not gonna do that anytime soon. But I do need a new PlayStation 3 because I need to use to play Yakuza 4 for my visas. I'll maybe get into the details of that at a later date, but certain to the point, yes, my thesis is revolving around Yakuza and advertisements, and because it took a while for the PlayStation 3 to get there. One of the important parts of my work did take a longer time to develop, but thankfully now I'm once again on schedule, and hopefully I can just keep the progress smooth and steady up until I'm done with it. Thankfully, I have until the end of September. My teachers have recommended me not to work in August, which okay, fair. So I'm just planning on doing as much as I can until my birthday in July, and then rest and then when September hits, it's just review, just a bunch of reviews, and then deliver it and get it done, and then eventually present it, which that'll probably be my most nervous presentation to date. But hey, that's life, and yeah, then I'll be done with my master's degree. But besides that, yeah, no, but because I was able to get the PS3 in time, I put my accounts once again on here. I still at the time of this recording, I still have yet to do the American one, but I'll do that shortly after this. But I've done the my European one, which is the main one, and the Japanese one, and I was able to re-download LSD, which I had bought on the PlayStation Network. That and another game called Kaze no Notam, which maybe one of these days I'll do a commentary of, but probably not for a good while. But yeah, with this, I'm in with the confirmation that yes, my capture card can capture PS3, because that was a bit of a question that me and Spring, who, if you guys don't know, Spring from the Sonic Adventure commentary, he was the one who gifted me a capture card as a late Christmas present. I mean, he bought it before Christmas, but he wasn't able to meet up with me until after Christmas. So late, early, who cares? Christmas present. So and he gave me a capture card after I may or may have not requested it a bunch of times. I'm sorry, Spring. And because I wanted it for these commentaries, I wanted it for all this kind of stuff, and just to stream for my friends games and stuff like that. And but that was the question that we had, is like, is this gonna work with my PlayStation 3? Because we heard that the PlayStation 3 had some methods to counteract capture cards. We were kind of bizarred by that, but stuff like the Switch, the Wii U, that works just fine. But thankfully, no, it does work with my PlayStation 3, and thanks to that, I can record this and plenty of other games I could record. Of course, because a lot of PlayStation 3 games are very big by nature. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna record those anytime soon. But the possibility of just being there, or maybe I could do it for like a review or an essay or whatever I feel like doing. I mean, don't expect any of those things to come anytime soon. But the fact that I'm able to do this, to record this, is just awesome. Although, strangely enough, there was two things that happened with this new PlayStation 3. Well, free. First of all, my original PlayStation 3 had a hard drive of 250 gigabytes. This one only has a hard drive of 120, which is way lower. Which, I mean, for now, I don't mind too much, because it's not like, I do want to play more games on my PlayStation 3. But it's not like I need all of it. It's just that, yeah, eventually I will want to upgrade my PlayStation, my hard drive. And I have two options. I either get a new one that's superior to 250 gigabytes, or I just take out the 250 gigabyte hard drive from my previous PlayStation 3 and put it in a new one. Although for this one, for whenever I do that, I will have to format my hard drive, and like I said earlier, there's no way I can access the save data, so that's pretty much lost. So whatever. But the new data that I form on this new PlayStation 3, I will have to back it up using an external hard drive, and hopefully I can find one. I do have a pen, but it's very small. It's not enough. So hopefully in the future I'm able to find another external hard drive. Hopefully with, or maybe I can use another external hard drive that maybe is lying around the house, and I don't have to format that. I can just easily transfer it, no problem, including save data, because that's the important thing right now. I just, okay, I haven't played much, but I've played a little bit of Yakuza 4, and while I'm still at the early stages of the game, I'd like to keep the data, just in case I need it for more pictures for my feeds or something. But yeah, I'll think about that later. Right now, I'm just like, okay, PS3 is back, working on my pieces, and I have some PlayStation 3 games that I bought, like a couple of months ago, like Castlevania: Lords of Shadow and Mirror's Edge. And Spring actually gifted me Tekken 3 on the PS1, and I also want to get around to that because while I've played it on emulation, I want to get now that I have a physical copy, I want to actually unlock all the characters. So yeah, that would be nice. And eventually, I wanted to play Ape Escape 3, and I've heard that, and now that I have my PS3 back and I access the Japanese store, yeah, I can buy Ape Escape 3. Did they have it available as a PS2 classic only in the Japanese store? But what I find bizarre is that like they have Ape Escape 1, they have Ape Escape 3, they have a bunch of this PSP spin-offs, but they do not have Ape Escape 2, the one that had so many goddamn Japanese commercials. Like you'll be like if you search Ape Escape 2 Japanese commercial, you'll find so many of them. There's like a set where it's recruiting. It's like this guy, this scout man, recruiting monkeys that wear different costumes. And like there's a soccer monkey, there's a disco monkey, and there's a Tatukamen monkey. I hope I didn't butcher that. And then there's another set of commercials where it's just like like a situation happens where a person finds one of the monkeys and it's like Saru Kimochi, and then Ape Escape 2, it's silly in nature. I find it funny. And then there's another set that happened after the game came out for when they re-released the game as part of the best lineup, which is the equivalent of the greatest hits and the essentials lineup, where they did this kind of like mini soap opera thing where it's a woman, a widow woman, so with a woman falling in love with one of the monkeys, and then in the final one, the protagonist of Ape Escape 2, which is called Jamie. I forgot I think his Japanese name is, was it Kakeru or was it Hakeru or whatever? I forgot. Jamie. He's on the lookout with monkeys, and then he finds the house where the monkey and the wife and the son are just having fun together. Just, there's a Christmas present, and then he gets there. It's like, I gotta capture her. It's like, leave this place. Is like, oh, what the fuck. I realize that I'm talking more about my PlayStation experiences and now Ape Escape less than LSD, but the thing is that there's not much to talk about LSD. It's one of those games that you just experience for yourself, or I guess you just watch what is going on currently. I really just use this commentary as a joke, but hopefully I'm not really running out of things to say. And thankfully, this commentary is not very long. I think it's around the same time as Waluigi's Taco Stand, if not shorter. So yeah, this is a small commentary. I'm not sure if there's any other commentaries I'll make for the month of April. Probably not, because I want to focus a bit more on my thesis. And if I do another commentary, well, now the sky's the limit. Now all the consoles that I used to have are back, but I'll just focus on just playing games on my me time. So yeah, and just playing games. I mean, I finished Super Mario 64 again, and that's a game that's maybe somewhere down the road I'll do a commentary on. It's just that it's gonna be a big one. Maybe I'll bring guests because, yep, it is a game that means a lot to me. But I'll save that for when we get to it. But in terms of LSD, as you guys can see right now, like there's a bunch of places. Just anything you touch, it will teleport you anywhere. And I think earlier I did encounter that gray man I was talking about earlier. So I'm not sure if that resetted the progress. I guess it didn't because I didn't get close to him. It did flash, but I didn't get close to him. And I just backed off because I didn't want to risk it. Because after it just continued on. The day counter did not reset as far as I'm aware, unless I'm missing something here. I mean, there is a graph after you finish the day. There is a graph that appears. I have no idea what it means. I think maybe it's something related to how fucked up your next day will become or something like that. I am not sure. There's probably guides for it online, but yeah, like I said earlier, LSD is not really one of those games that you would play for a very long period of time. If you actually do pick up this game, well, first of all, like I mentioned earlier, this is available off the Japanese PlayStation Free store, and the price is not that expensive. If you wanna yen, I mean, unless you're Japanese and you have yen, just go to PlayAsia. They have PlayStation cards, Japanese for any region actually, at your disposal. So there's that if you want to experience it. And if you want to play for the entire game, I guess good luck. It's gonna take you a good while. I'm not sure how long it will take you, but I guess if you can end days prematurely, I don't think there's any consequences to that. I guess if you're able to find a hole as quickly as possible. You know what? I'm curious if there are any speedruns of this game. I am genuinely curious because I'm curious. What's the fastest time? The fastest time is 8 hours. What? Then I would be but then I'm I've seen games with worse timers. I mean, there's RPGs that take a long time to speedrun. There's Smash Brothers. If you're Melee and Brawl, Wii U, yes, Ultimate, it's gonna take you a good while to 100%. But unless you're doing specific speedruns, an adventure mode speedrun or a classic mode speedrun, which those aren't naturally are just gonna be shorter because it's mainly how fast can you defeat your opponents or how fast can you go through a stage in adventure mode in Melee. Yeah. But yeah, as I'm seeing by the timer, we are getting pretty close to the end of the commentary. This video footage in itself will end prematurely because there's no credits. It's just maybe there are credits. I don't know, but I kind of don't care and all. What the fuck is that? Is that an elephant? Well, that was a balloon elephant. And now I wanted to go to the other part of this hole to see it, but it just despawned. So what should I do? Should I fall? Yeah, let's do it. Thank you all for watching and have yourselves a good one. Later, everybody.